coming on board. It really means a lot to me and to Joseph. For one reason, we get another different perspective of what's
Right,
going
right.
on. So that's another thing we like. What's going
hmm
on here? So that's perfect. I can't ask for anything more. And haven't met you in person, but I know you anyway. And
Well, he didn't. I'm trying to move down there. I got to get some stuff together. Trying to get down there by October of next year.
oh, really? Well,
Yeah, so I got to get some stuff. So I got to find a job till I get situated. So if you
oh,
got any good connections down there, let me know.
you talking about San Antonio?
Yep.
Okay, I'll find out. I'm glad you said that. But anyway, when we talked earlier, I was asking what your topic was going to be because it's a lot of things floating around out there. It's so much anger, and
Ooh, ooh,
it's
ooh.
a lot of anger out there. It's like a powder keg. But you know what's funny? It's like a powder keg. It's anger, but I don't think nobody gonna do anything because I think they're angry and scared at the same time. So
hmm
I'm hoping it's
hmm
gonna stay like that. But I have never seen so many angry people over the
It,
littlest thing that's going on.
it's it's that time now where it's this new generation that's angry over the littlest things. They don't know how to talk to each other. They don't know how to communicate with each other. They hold grudges. It's just a shame, as you know. The scripture says, "Soft word drive away wrath." People can't even have an honest conversation with anyone anymore. Um, when me and Joseph, if we disagree, we disagree, but we still boys afterwards. And we're
Right.
living in a time where they don't know how to do that. They don't know how to control their feelings. And the downfall of that is technology.
Yeah.
Nobody, nobody can confront anybody because they're in technology. They don't know how to communicate. COVID really destroyed a lot of that stuff because everybody communicated through phone. So if you don't know how to communicate, if you don't know how the parts of communication, listen, hear, share, participate, if you're not listening to what the person's saying, if you're not hearing, and hearing is you ever have somebody talking to you and they on their phone at the same time.
Yeah.
So listen, hear, share. Hey, this is what I heard you say, and then participate in a dialogue back and forth until the problem is solved. And even if it's not solved, hey, you have your point of view, I have my point of view. We
And
can leave as friends and not
right.
be, like them spade games where we got family members that still ain't talking to each other because they mad somebody in spade games laid down the wrong card and they lost the match and they're still holding on to that stuff. So
Yeah.
anger is it's out there, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of it is communication.
With that right there, talking to each other, that's a learning experience too. You're learning the mindset of somebody else. This is what he's thinking. And
hmm
and if you really look deep into it, it comes up with the same ending. Nine times
hmm
out of ten, it's the same. Y'all got the same goal, but you're going to reach it a different type of way.
Right.
But you're going to be there no matter. That's just like somebody flying past you 90 miles an hour, and you both meet each other at the stoplight. You know what I mean? Hey man, you flew past me, and we're right here.
Right,
That's
right, 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 right.
so that's how I look
hmm
at some things sometimes. And then again, thin skin. Can't
Right,
nobody
right.
take what you're saying to it. I mean, if I don't know how to put it, but if somebody have a discussion and hurt your feelings, then you shouldn't have been in that discussion. you know.
And then some people just don't know how to communicate. They just don't. It's what they grew up in.
Yeah.
If they always saw mom and dad arguing or whoever was they saw, that's how they know how to communicate. They don't know anything else but how to communicate unless they talk to someone like a life coach or an adult that's been through some things that are able to tell them it's not that serious, because a lot of those people always have to get their point across. And when you
Mm-hmm.
don't get your point across, you get upset or you gotta have the last word. You have those people that always have the last word. No matter what, they gotta have the last word. But it goes into how were they trained? How were they taught how to communicate? But they don't know because they're too busy on TikTok. They're too busy on Facebook and Instagram and not
Yeah.
learning these things and not learning. They're learning them from people who just are. I don't want to. I got to be careful with my words here. Um, they are that don't want to be educated on how to be able to communicate successfully with someone else.
You know, it's funny. They know how to communicate on TikTok, all them other platforms. I remember a job that I had. They hired another supervisor, and he was a youngster, very good. He turned on, put out his first email. He wrote it
Mm-hmm.
like he was texting you, like a you, R,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
R, not. They said, Ron, can you do me a favor? I said, what's that? Can you show him how he's supposed to do things here? So I said, brother, come over and let me talk to you. I said, your email you sent out, I understood it. I
Mm-hmm.
understood everything you're saying, but you got to write this. This is going to the big bosses. They don't want to see
Right. Yeah.
you have to write right. Well, what do you mean? I said, all right, I'm gonna type your email up the way you sent it, and I'm gonna put it the way it's supposed to be. So I did that. You know, what he told me that's a lot of typing. I said, but it's the right way to communicate.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's funny how our youngsters like they even got the emojis sending
Right.
signals with the emojis, and they know it. See, they know how to learn, they know how to do all that, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
want to learn the other way. I don't know why.
Right. Because it means they have to examine themselves. It's a lot of this. The generation now, it's instant. If it's not, they got to go in. When we started our jobs, we may started out. I know times are different, but a little bit. But when we started out the McDonald's job, and we worked our way up. If we wanted to get to assistant manager, but we knew we had to work. A lot of people, they get these jobs and they want to be manager or get management pay or executive pay, and they haven't done no work. They're making videos on. I work 10 hours in one day. Man, you 21. When we, I remember working 14 hours in one
Yep.
day and had to go do it for 4 or 5 days because that's what needed to be done. But this generation now, they want everything instant, and if they don't get it instant, they get upset.
I'm glad you said that. I read a post one time. Well, this person went in for a job interview. They was telling them I can only work four days a week. I want to work these hours, and I want this. I want lunch. I want that, and this is the pay I'm expecting. Well, he was laughed
Mm-hmm.
out the office. You don't come in demanding stuff like that. What's wrong with you? And that's what they're doing. We watching these kids growing up being entitled,
Mm-hmm.
and that's sad thing right here. Trying to be entitled because people are getting sick and tired of that stuff. When you
But
get
some of it is parents' fault
yep,
because I didn't have it when I was growing up, so I don't want to give it to, and so I want to give it. So we give the kids everything. We give them cell phones, iPads, all this stuff, and they don't earn anything. So of course, have you seen there was a video of the 13-year-old boy that the mom took away the cell phone,
I didn't
and
see that
he
one.
destroyed, and he destroyed her apartment. He broke the countertop off the uh, kitchen counter. He broke windows. He cracked the TV. He smashed the TV, all because she took the cell phone away.
Is he still living?
I don't know if he's still living,
That's beyond a temper tapper. That got some issues right there.
but
Yeah.
that's what that technology is dangerous because it causes the. I can't think of the term of it right now. This would be a Joseph term, but I can't think of it when because they get so it's addicted. That's like the cocoa melon.
Yeah.
The music in the cocoa melon gets little kids to scream and holler when they don't get the phone, and the parent because the parents don't know how to handle it. The parents don't know how to be parents. They give them that to shut them up, and it does nothing for them. So when they don't get it, it's they have that anger problem. And some of the another downfall is when parents became friends.
Oh, yes.
When you're friends, you can't discipline. Like you can't be hanging out with them, going to the parties with them, dressing like them, doing all that stuff. You got to be separate. And a lot of these
Mm-hmm.
parents are friends more than they are parents. So this is where these attitudes and these angers are coming in, and then they keep growing up as adults. They're even getting into marriages and relationships, and they don't know how to act. And then the kids are seeing it.
Yeah. I got back in the days, I call that, and I'm getting ready to say my age. Remember Gumby and Pokey?
Yes.
I
Mm-hmm.
said it's a Gumby and Pokey. What do you mean by that? I said I could do anything with Gumby because he's going from 1 to 5 years old. But I can't do nothing
Mm-hmm.
with Pokey because I haven't disciplined Pokey. Here he is 7 years old, and parents saying if he don't get this, he's gonna get upset. Huh? What? If he don't get this, he's gonna get upset. Well, I'm upset at you for saying this kid's running your household.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and that's the problem. These kids, I remember growing up, it was one meal cooked. If you didn't like
Mm-hmm.
it, you didn't eat. Now I see the parents cooking three different type of dinners to satisfy all these kids.
I couldn't stand liver
Me
and
neither.
onions. And you know how good it smells when it's cooking.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's like, if you don't eat that, that's your snack, your breakfast for tomorrow. That is going to be finished. So I would go through a half a bottle of ketchup because I knew if I didn't eat it at that time, I couldn't. And don't even think about drinking something as soon as you get in, you drink it
Yeah.
because you was not going to be to drink get nothing else until you got done finished with your food.
Yeah. I told myself whenever I grow and get out the house, I'm not ever having liver again, and I haven't. Yeah. So when you talking about, I'm gonna go switch it to the mental health.
Okay.
We're gonna be in trouble come November 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Because we gonna have people that's gonna act out, act up, and as Joseph said, nobody's talking about that right now. What we gonna do
Mm-hmm.
after the election? It's gonna be some
Mm-hmm.
downside on either side.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be some problems.
Mm-hmm. People are going to have. I think one of the downfalls of the is we don't learn things about people. We don't learn their past. I'll use an example. When I was growing up, when I was told to vote, guess how I voted? Grandma told me how to vote.
Mm.
Um, Uncle told this is who you go vote for. We don't know the parties, but we also have to get mentally prepared for the outcomes. What if the person you chose doesn't get there? Okay, how is that going to mentally affect me? And this is the part where we need to talk to people and communicate with you and even the groups that we're in. This is where that open dialogue is so important. Hey, how are you going to feel? Man, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, well, let's start dealing with this. Let's start dealing with that now. A lot of people, like you said, are not going to deal with it until after the final vote is done. No, we
Yeah.
need to start talking about these things. We need to start having good dialogue now. We need to start having meaningful conversations to prepare. Hey, let's start preparing each other if it doesn't go the same way you want. Because some people go act a fool, some people not, depending on who's in there. But we gotta start having those dialogues right now instead of waiting to the end because people need to have that. Uh, their minds need to begin the process now instead of trying to process at the end.
Yeah, because with this going on right now, the country is so divided. I've never seen it divided like this before. I grew up in the '60s, and
Mm-hmm.
division was there in the '60s. We were marching and we were doing things for equality, and it seems like
Mm-hmm.
it's a new way they're doing it. It's the same old thing, but now you got the officials in office that could do whatever they want to do. And
Mm-hmm.
I just found out today. I had a show earlier today that our governor came up with the 15th appeals court, and what
Mm-hmm.
he does, that appeal court, he appoint the judges to that appeal court.
Mm-hmm.
Then, if there's a case over $5 million, they give it to them. In other
Mm-hmm.
words, it's a setup. So if his buddy's being sued for $50 million, you go to that appeal court. Chances are, I just said it's a stacked deck.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's the problem, that some people don't trust the government because of things like that. And that is one reason why people don't want to go out and vote, because they feel if they're going to do what they want to do. Well, you have to get out and vote. It's got to be change.
A lot of people don't vote, so it doesn't change. So then this is where the issue comes in, because they're not going out to vote just because of what you said. And we don't hold and we don't understand how powerful our voices are. So if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, hey, we're going to the polls and we're going to say, hey, we're not going to vote for you this year because you didn't do what you said you were going to do. But we're
Right.
so afraid of, I would say, repercussions or what's going to happen, or even if you vote for Junebug and another person vote for Day Day, is going to be, I want to say, we're going to be at each other because we voted differently. So we need to just stay together and say, hey, this is what we need to do as a group. Like you said earlier, a minute ago, it was power. There's power in unity. There's power in unity. But if we always fighting each other, and we can't see the greater good of us, hey, this person has been messing up. Hey, next time we need to change. We need to look at these policies. We need to look what's going on. We need to talk. We need to get this stuff out. Let's now vote on that person ain't doing what we're supposed to be doing. So let's vote that person out.
Yeah.
No telling who they may get back in, but we still have to understand we have a voice, and many people don't think they have a voice because, like you said, a lot of people just ain't no use in me voting because the people are going to do what they want to do. But we're letting them do what they want to do because we're not voting to pull them out of the position they're in.
And that's what they want us to do. That's exactly what
Mm-hmm.
they want us to do. So, speaking about voting, I'm gonna bring this up. Isn't there supposed to be a separation between state, church, and state? And it seems like that,
Yes, there is.
but it seems like that is blending together. And I don't know about that.
There is supposed to be a separation of state and church, but we're living in a time where pastors do what they want to do. Churches
Yeah.
do what they want to do. They have a specific agenda, um, um, and but and some get kickbacks, some
Yeah.
get favors.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to get a favor from this person, guess who I want my church to vote for? Oh, they're
Yeah.
going to put money in our pocket. So that's what. No, they're supposed to separate church and state, but we're living in a time where I would say good is now evil and evil is good.
But
And go ahead.
when I was growing up, the our church was the community center where
Mm-hmm.
we were there talking, and uh, the pastor was nowhere around when all that was going on. So we had leaders come in and talk to us, and all that was going on. So we were doing that, and at that time, that's when the village was real strong. The
Mm-hmm.
village, because I
Mm-hmm.
because I tell people, I have no idea how my mama knew what I did 2 blocks down, and I got home. And we got technology right now that's lightning fast. Well, I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
that village was faster than this lightning stuff right now. Because I
Mm-hmm.
think I think we lost track of the village. Um,
That. Oof, that is so true. That is so true. I know I brought up a topic just about kids going missing. I know you and Joseph talked about that. But it was a time that we could walk down the street and didn't worry because the neighbor knew who we were. We may not have known who the neighbor was, but the neighbor would report if we were doing something wrong.
mm-hmm.
I got I got a whooping one time. This older gentleman asked me to help him. He was coming out the grocery store over where I live, a small grocery store, and he says, "Craig, come here. I need you to help me put these groceries in my car." I said, "No." I didn't know the man.
Ooh.
By the time I got back in the house, I got a whooping because I didn't help this man put his groceries in the car.
Mm.
And it took me at least 20 minutes to get home because, you know, being a kid, you just don't go straight home. But I got a whooping because I didn't help him. But that's the thing of a village. You could go anywhere and you had to report.
Yeah.
Whenever you went over somebody's house, you weren't supposed, their mom didn't know or dad didn't know, you had to call and report where you were. And if mom or dad did not know that individual, nope, you got to go. I don't know those parents. Or
Yeah.
if they knew those parents, nope, They just let their kids do anything. No, you can't do that. You got to leave. But we're missing the village raising the community because if I say something to your kid, you're ready to fight.
Yeah. Exactly. Ready to call a lawyer. I'm sorry, but
Yes,
I
yes,
say that
yes.
all the time. And it was a time when there was a kid that was special. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
make fun of him. We invited him to play baseball, football with us. We kept an eye
Mm-hmm.
on him. If somebody outside our community came in and started messing with him, oh man, it was like the whole family just jumped on him. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
play that. So that's how it was. I seen that. There were people that was just
Right.
playing different. And
Mm-hmm. Right.
but we made sure we interact with them. Nowadays, the
Mm-hmm.
ones that are quiet play different. You sort of shy away. You don't know when they're gonna go off and what they're gonna go off to,
Right. Yeah.
and that's just sad. I mean, the village, we need it back. I talked to somebody the other day about that. Said, "How we gonna get that back?" I said, "One street at a time."
Yes. Well, we got to stand together, and we can't be afraid to speak our voices. We
Hmm.
can't be like, okay, I'm coming this time, but if something start and I don't like it, I'm gonna leave. No, we got to stick together, and we got to stick it out. A lot of people think it's supposed to be instant. No, it's going to take a minute to take the community back. It may take a year to get the community back, but once we get it back, we got it back, and we got to hold on to it. And we just can't let anybody just come in and try to tear up the community. That's why you knew who knew who you had the yard you couldn't walk on because you would get in trouble if you walked in that yard. No, let's get this community. Let's get this stuff off the street. My grandmother used to make me pick stuff off the street at somebody else's house when we was walking down the street because it was a reflection on the community block at that time.
Yeah, I believe that. Yes, sir. I remember those days. Uh, I remember times I would go out and oh, I hated cutting that yard and shoveling the sidewalk, but I did it anyway.
Right.
When my dad say, okay, Saturday mornings was cutting the yard, and I did it. And I think he asked me one time, "You always did everything. This is why you do it." I said, "Well, actually, pops, I didn't want to hear your mouth, so I went on and done it." And
Mm-hmm.
besides, back then you get a whooping out in public. Nobody said anything.
No.
You do it right now.
Mm-mm.
They call them CPS.
CPS, they go try to separate you and everything because,
Hmm.
oh, you shouldn't discipline. Oh, but I bet you if you robbed you, you'd be talking about the parents need to be held accountable because of that, because you robbed me. You don't want me to discipline my kid, but then when he does something to you, then I'm the worst parent. But then when I
Yeah.
say, y'all didn't want me to discipline him, oh no, you should have did something. You should have taught him better, or you didn't raise him right. No, raised him right. He just decided to do something knucklehead, and then you didn't want me to get on him about it. So now you on me about it now because he stole from me.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like going back to the village part, the way things are going right now, this is the time to put the village together while the momentum is there. The
Mm-hmm.
momentum is out there, and we need to start seriously thinking about when everything settles down. We need to keep
Mm-hmm.
it going. We don't want to stop. We want to keep it going because a lot of people with momentum building up the way it is, once it's over
Mm-hmm.
with, it's done. No, we need to keep
Right.
on going. Don't stop. Just keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the problem with society right now. All right, it's done. We're good. We'll worry about the next cycle. Next cycle come around, you got to start all over again. But
Mm-hmm.
if you kept that momentum going, you don't have to start all over again. You add to it and keep on going. and
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing we need to preach to people.
Mm-hmm.
So and I just it's just astonishing just watching everything going on out there in this world. I told somebody one time, what did I say? I wrote a paper in college one year, and at the end, I put down years wandering is years gathering
Mm-hmm.
experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether bad experience or good experience. And we're in our
Mm-hmm.
wandering years right now in the United
Right.
States. We are wondering what are we going to do next? Who are we going to follow? What we going to do? And
Mm-hmm.
to interject something else, a lot of people are scared to take that initiative.
Oh. Ooh. Mm. Mm. Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm. You, they don't want to because they don't want to hold that responsibility. Then if it's not going the way they want it to go, they're gonna talk about me. But that is the fear of being this new fear of not being liked, being rejected, all the rest of that. But the leader needs to know they need to stand up and be strong no matter what. That's how we were taught.
Yeah, we sure
And
were.
we followed the leader. If Ron, okay, Ron's got this thing going on. All right, that's what we're going to support Ron. That's what Ron's doing. But now, if you don't have 20 people, oh, it didn't do go good. So now you don't want to be leader no more.
Mm. No, I told myself when I was DJing, I said if one person show up, I'm still gonna play the music like it was 1,000 people in there,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and the growth will come.
Mm-hmm.
Quit being so impatient; it will come. And
Right.
you said it earlier, instant gratification. That's what everybody wants,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't work like
Mm-hmm.
that. If you want instant gratification, put you some Pop Tarts in the microwave oven. That's instant.
No, they still got to wait a couple minutes for
Yeah.
that to come out.
But it's just the things that I'm looking at this generation right now.
Uh-huh.
Somebody made a point one time, and I listened to them. They said you go to a restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
you could tell between old school and
Mm-hmm.
Generation Z. They don't run
Right.
out of
Right.
alphabets. It's gonna be double Z next time around. But
Mm-hmm.
um, our generation will kindly clean the table, make sure everything is right, stack the dishes, all that right there. The other
Mm-hmm.
one, they'll go ahead and mess things up and say, "Aren't you clean?" No, that's their job. And I seen
Right.
that, and I'm trying to figure out what is going on here.
Mm-hmm.
What have we lost?
We've lost training. We lost um, doing the dishes. We've lost um, when we visited grandma or grandpa. We had chores we still had to do, even though we weren't at home. Our forefathers and grandma, they taught us how to be respectful and how to be generous and have charity. Now it's you're obligated. One lady, one girl, she's suing her parents because she didn't want to have to pay rent. She didn't want to have to get a job. So she's suing her parents because she didn't ask to be born into this world.
My God. Oh,
So we talked about this, and they think every a lot of this generation thinks they're entitled. And when you think you're entitled, you think you're above everybody.
wasn't there a
And
wasn't there a parent
mm-hmm, go ahead.
when there's a kid that sued the parents, still in high school, sued them so they couldn't tell her what to do anymore. She, well, you know what? You've been out the house.
Mm-hmm,
You know, I'm sorry. Tough love. Bye. Bye, Felicia. You know, but when it comes to the point that the kids have more power than the parents, that's where things messed up.
when well, we have to when the law stepped in and started taking control is when we start losing everything. And when, like you said, the court systems, once the court systems start going on the parent side, it was free game. There's another girl, she sued her parents for taking her cell phone
That she didn't pay
because
for.
she was that she didn't pay for because she was 15 and the guy was 21.
Oh,
So dad was like, no, we're not having this type, and he took it. But again, when our laws don't protect our the parents' rights, what are the parents supposed to do?
yeah,
When
because
when the laws are saying, hey, you got good parents, they're trying to teach you good morals, how to do things, how not to repeat the same mistakes we made. No, I
no,
can sue my parents and get away with it. You know, they'll even tell you, hey, go, you touch me, go ahead, I'll call the CPS. And the schools are no better.
right.
The school, you know, if you miss, when I worked in the school system, if your child missed a few many days, guess who we were told to call?
The parent. Oh,
CPS.
CPS.
Yes, CPS.
Wow.
If you couldn't get a hold of the parents and the parents weren't bringing them in, we were told to call the CPS.
See, this is what I don't get. The kids think they smart and want to do all that. If they lock the parents up, you're not going home. You're going to a foster care place. You're not going
Mm-hmm.
home. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
And this,
that's where things messed up at because a kid could say the parent did anything and they come arrest the parent. And once they finally talk, it
mm-hmm.
was the kid's fault, but there was no repercussion for what the kid did.
Mm-mm. No. Because the parents held account. The parents are held accountable for everything. Certain things, yes, parents need to be held to be accountable for. Like the incident with the shooting we had over here, that the
Yeah.
parents gave access and bought. Yes, that. But some you got, especially if you got a single mother. I had plenty of parents had they were single mothers that worked third shift or worked two jobs to make sure ends were met. So sometimes a lot of the kids had to get themselves to school. And so people were like, man, we need to call CPS. I'm like, no, we don't need to call, because I was a behavior interventionist. And I'm like, no, we don't need to call CPS. I will call mom and talk to mom. Do you know the circumstances? A lot of y'all, because what happened was we had um, people that didn't know anything about the inner city or about our culture,
Mm-hmm.
assuming that the parents weren't doing what they were supposed to do. And I knew the majority of the parents because I talked to them all the time. Every now and then I have a parent I really didn't talk to, but I knew what their parents told me. Mr. Washington, I'm sorry. I didn't get home till 6 o'clock in the morning after work. I fell asleep. I didn't get them there on time. I apologize. What? Because you live in the suburbs, and that's the only time you come into the inner city is to teach class, and then you leave and go back. You really truly don't understand what these students are dealing with and what they're going through.
Yes.
So I'm not calling CPS unless it's something so drastic that it needs to be, like certain situations I can't talk about. But no, I'm not calling CPS. You know, well, they miss parent conferences. Yes, because they're at work.
I'm going to go by what you just said. You said one key word. They do not understand our culture.
No, they don't. If you look at a lot of things in society, they don't understand our culture. And a lot of people, they don't, they only look at I call the fluff. When I'm coaching someone or someone's in my office for pastoral care or whatever, I you got to peel the layers to see what they're really dealing with and what they're really going through, because they're just giving you what you want to hear so they can get out of your face. You got to peel off the layers. You got to peel off this. You got to peel till you get down to that critical point where you get them to really truly open up and talk to you. And once you get them to truly open up and talk to you, it will give you a whole different outlook on why they act the way they act.
Mm.
If they're taking care of, I have one of my students. His One of his parents was had an addiction. He was taking care of the little sisters and little brothers, and still making sure they all got to high school, and still making sure he had good grades. How are you going to try to break up that family when that young man is doing all he can to make sure that his household is taken care of, that his brothers and sisters are not left behind, working a job to take care of the house and make sure bills are paid and still come to school. So if he's 15 minutes late every day, so what?
Yeah. But that story is so true all around the country and around our area and our people, the country. I mean, you can hear stories like that all over the place
Mm-hmm.
on how the oldest kid is taking care of the family, and
Mm-hmm.
and then when it comes time for them to graduate, they really don't want to leave.
Right.
They could go to college, be successful, but they don't want to leave because they don't know what's going to happen to their brother and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't see that point. They don't see it at all. All they look
Mm-hmm.
at us and say, "Oh, wow, another one." No, it's not
Mm-hmm.
another one. It's not. Give them the opportunity to do what they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if nobody step in to help out, like you said, peel the layers off, how you gonna know?
It's
What?
the instant solve. It's the instant solve in our educational system.
Yeah,
Let me hurry up, get them out of my office so I don't have to deal with them because I'm tired of dealing with them. Our education, we got to get, well, first of all, we need to pay our educators more. That's one thing for
yes,
sure.
yeah,
For the attitudes that they have to deal with, dealing with the even, I mean, some of the attitudes, they'll say anything to the teacher, slap the teacher, and then the teacher's the one that gets in trouble.
yeah.
We got to do better, and you pay them better and give them I would say the tools for the kids to be successful is going to help out. But if you're blocking them, you always downgrading them. Well, your classes, and another thing is going. We do too much testing for these students.
Oh, tell me about it.
They got to test for this. They got to test for this. And see, people don't realize. I think it's third grade. It's either third or sixth. I may be mixing up. They use those tests to determine how many more jails they need
That's so sad.
in the black community.
You,
How many more jails they
Jills.
need?
That see, I could interject on that saying they need to do the same test in the suburbs and all that stuff because white collar crime and blue collar crime is different. All right.
Mm-hmm.
If you go ahead and you at your job blue collar, you steal that money, you going to jail, you was a thief. If it's white collar, it's called embezzlement. As long as you pay it back, you okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, if they
Mm-hmm.
talking about the double standard, that's the double standard right there. You got
There's no
people,
balance.
yeah, you got people stealing from the PTA and all that stuff. It's all on the news, but you never hear about what happened. You got to do some research, found out, oh, they paid it back. What did they get? Nothing. Time served.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a double standard right there between
Mm-hmm.
blue collar and white collar crimes. It's always been like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man, that is something else. So,
And
so
it like, go ahead.
no, I said basically sometimes we're set up for failure.
Yes, yes, we are set up for failure. But when we were growing up, we were taught how to deal with that stuff. We were taught you don't need to be going over that person's. You let them do what they do. You don't. If you see them doing something, you let them do that. You don't get involved with that. If they're doing some scheme, don't get part. We were taught to watch out and look for it. They're not taught that anymore.
Mm-mm.
They how they can't even write in cursive.
You got that? They don't teach that anymore.
They don't teach cursive no more. They hardly teach money
Right,
anymore.
because I know when I was there, they taught us how to balance a checkbook and all that good stuff. And the other thing, they showed us how to fill out a job application.
They're not taught that stuff no more. It's test, 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 get you out.
And this
Test,
was
test, test, get you out.
and this is what I don't get. Down here in Texas, they teach the test for them to pass. If they
Hmm.
taught the curriculum like they're supposed to, they wouldn't have to teach them the test. They could
Right.
take the
Yeah.
test and pass it. Because I remember at the end of the year when I was in school, we had a thing called the achievement test. We
Hmm.
went through the whole
Yep.
school year, and that came right there. You took the achievement test. That determined if you was gonna go to the next grade or not. So if
Hmm.
your teacher taught you right, and you sat down and learned, you have no problem in passing that test. But now they're
Hmm.
teaching the kids the test. All right, we're gonna teach y'all how to do this. How to Okay, so what have they really learned? How to pass a test?
They learn how to cheat, and they've learned how to be passed on.
Yeah.
One of my kids, I held back a year
Mm.
because they weren't doing what they were supposed to do. And they tended to, oh, well, you don't need to hold him back. I'm like, no, he's going to be held back. I'm sorry, he's not going to the next grade. And they fought us me and my wife, tooth and nail. It's going to mess him up. I said, no, he needs to know this basic stuff, and he's not going to the next grade until he knows his stuff. They're passing. You can barely. They're trying to change. I can't remember what state it is. They're trying to change what a C and a D is, or what a D is. It's if you get a 60, that's supposed to be a C now.
What? A
They're
60?
making the standards lower.
Lower.
They're making the standards lower so the students can go on to the next grade. But they're doing nothing but hurting the children because they're not learning nothing.
Ours was a
So you're
70.
going to, mhm.
Yeah.
So you're going to create a system where you're telling them failure is okay. This is why I don't like some sports. Well, everybody's a winner. If they don't know about losing, this is where the anger comes in
I
because they
told
don't know that they lost
right.
the game. Everybody's a winner. Everybody no. You lost the game. So what do we need to do to win the next one?
Get better. Practice.
Give, but they don't. We don't. I went to a game one time. I was watching one of my friends. We don't keep score. I'm like, you don't keep score because we don't want to hurt the kids' feelings that they lost. Them kids, the only thing they concerned about is the snacks at the end of the game. They don't
Thank
care
you.
about nothing
Thank
else.
you.
But we're not set. They're not learning anything by losing, and even if they're winning, they still need to be taught how to win. You need to be taught how to lose. If you lost, what do I need to improve in? What do I need to do? If you win, how do we keep winning? I'm not gonna keep rubbing it into people's face. We were taught
Yeah.
all that back then. Now everything has got to be equal. We got to be unified. We don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. We don't want to hurt little Becky's feelings. We don't want to hurt little John's feelings because then if we hurt their feelings, they're gonna go home and pout and tear up my whole house.
Them kids bounce back real quick. After that, it's over with. They bounce. Because when I was coaching, my oldest son, he was a natural baseball player, but he didn't want to pursue that. So I had all the kids together one time. They couldn't catch a fly ball. If it landed in their glove, they'd drop it. So I turned around at the next practice. All we did is threw the ball up in the air and caught it. That's all we did. I did that for a whole hour. And he said, Coach, what's going on? I said, I want y'all to learn something right now. In order to be a great winner, you have to be a great loser. Huh? That didn't make any sense. You got to learn how to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get that concept that you lost, winning be that much better. So
Mm-hmm.
I went in and told him all that. Then one parent came to me, I heard you told my son, he said about losing all the time. I think what I told him, he got it all wrong. This is what I said. And this parent, one of the parents came out there during the game. She will always bring his kid late all the time to practice. And so he played. But he played like we had to go 3 innings, and he played the rest of the game. And she said, I'm not going for that. She stood on that field, demanded that her kid bat and that he plays. We had somebody that had to go pick her up and take her off the field. And once we had that conversation, I said, look here, your kid could care less about playing because when he's at practice, he's picking flowers out there, which is fine. I still got him playing. I'm still trying to show him. But you have to show him he has to be at practice on time, not your time. We make a practice. This is when it is. We're not working on his time schedule. Y'all have to be on our time schedule. And she looked at me and I didn't know she was listening to anything. I was ready to be slapped or something. But the very next day on practice, he was there 15 minutes early.
Mm-hmm.
And he got his starting spot, and all that. It's just like you said, you got to talk to him, let him know what's going on. Sometimes it's tough love, but you know what? They got to hear that.
And and that's something when you've earned a parent's respect, it's coming up into some is not always going to work, but you can earn the parent's respect by you coming to them and saying, hey, this is why your son is not playing. This is why. This is why. And if they respect you, and if the child respects you, they're going to listen to you. The ones that are just there to be there are the ones that are not going to listen to you because they already think they know everything.
Yeah.
I had parents like that when I coached football. I had a guy coach. He played freshman football his first year. Sophomore and junior year, he did not play. The parent wanted me to play him his senior year, all quarters, because it was his last year. I'm like, no, I'm not playing him all the time because he hasn't been here. He doesn't even know. He hardly knows the new plays or the new systems that we changed. That person ended up going to the AD. And then the coaches got in trouble.
Oh, man.
Because we didn't play him the whole time.
See, there's two sides to every story. His side, your side, and the truth.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And for them to
know.
take the side of the parent, even though Joey didn't play sophomore or junior year and wants to come back and start and play the whole game. Nah. So what if you did that and he got hurt?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But that's where the entitlement comes in. Because they were big booster givers.
Oh, money.
So because they were big booster givers, we got told to play the person all the time because the person was a big booster giver to the school.
Wow. See, politics. Even in high school, politics. Golly. And there's also politics for some of these schools that the kids go through in kindergarten and all that stuff. You got the private schools. There's politics in that.
It's politics in your job. I've learned and was taught there's politics wherever you go.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to work with other people, there's going to be some politics involved.
Man, you don't open up a can of worms on that one right there. Boy, you opened up a can of worms right there. There's politics everywhere. I remember I was somewhere and somebody wanted my opinion about something. You got an opinion about this? No, it hurts the brain. He just looked at me and, what do you mean it hurts the brain? I said, that's too much thing for me to do about something that's as little as that. So what you trying to say? What you trying to say? I said, that's meaningless to me. You don't want the problem. I don't have a problem. You ask my opinion. I'm not giving you my opinion because it hurts the brain. So that's why I told
because they just want to argue.
Yeah. And I know how to diffuse that real quick. I just turn around and look at him. You finish? Okay, I'll walk away. But I'm looking as I'm walking away so they don't run up on me, But sometimes people put you in a situation, they want your opinion, and then they turn around and use that against you later on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, I'm not falling for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen.
Use everything you say again. Well, didn't you say that? No, that's not what I said. You interpreted what you wanted to hear. Go back to that communication. You didn't listen to a word I said. You didn't hear what I said. You couldn't even share what I said, and you didn't even participate in a dialogue. You assumed everything because you were too busy looking on your phone.
Yeah. Now let's get back to, before we go, about entrepreneur.
Okay.
when you brought
I
that
done hit a
up,
spot.
yeah, you hit a spot right there, because that is true. Among black folks got their own business. Um, some take a leap of faith and it works out for them. And while they doing that, it's always somebody they're trying to knock you down. Oh, you're not gonna make it. So and so tried that before. This is the person that's never had a business before, never knew how to run a business, but know how to run you out of business. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They say
Mm-hmm.
something stupid, and people out there, for instance, there's a business. Meet this one business owner. Everything's going good. Well, the other business owner that you're friends with don't like the one that you're friends with now and want to tell you, I wouldn't do business with them because they're so and so, so and so. Well, that's between y'all two.
Right.
He or she hasn't done nothing to me. And,
Mm-hmm.
and, and that's some of the problem of tearing down our businesses. We get in these little cliques, and if enough is around, they could destroy a business, and they're satisfied, move on to the next one. And
Mm-hmm.
that just oh, I get so mad when I see that coming. And like I said, it happened to me. I'm not gonna lie to you, it happened to me. But I turned around and I walked away. I said, oh, I'm not worried
Mm-hmm.
about it. I'm gonna bounce back. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
But that is some of the problem in our black community. Is that right
Oh,
there?
and and I say this when I'm coaching with people. I was like, listen, if they're not on the, I ask them this question first. I say, what do a doctor, a brain surgeon, and a garbage collector, if they're down eating dinner, what are they going to talk about? Garbage guy's going to be like, man, what'd you do? Man, I found some stuff I can sell. I picked up trash all day. The brain surgeon will be talking about the surgeries he did and all the things he did. It's because that conversation is not going to go well. They can be friends, but they're still not on the same level. You
Right.
need to be with people that are on the same level as you. If you hang around somebody that don't want to do nothing, trying to pull you down, you don't need to hang around that person. That's why I surround myself. I said that's why I surround myself with entrepreneurs. I surround myself with mentors who are millionaires. I surround myself with people who have influence and not out to tear people down, but are out to bring people in and bring them up.
Mm.
In Grand Rapids, where I am, being a minority is woo,
Yeah.
woo. You instead, and I told someone one time, I said, why don't y'all just come together and be co-business owners? Y'all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You selling gym shoes, they selling gym shoes. You selling clothes, they selling clothes. Why not join together and make money together instead of dogging each other out?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't. I don't like that person because of this. His prices are better than mine. And come together, but hang around like-minded people. I tell everybody, hang around like-minded people that are on the same page as you. Then you will start getting rid of that little. Then that other noise won't be able to get into your ear because you're not hanging around those people that are trying to pull you down. Ron, why you start a radio station, man? I wanted to start a radio station. You got more people than I got,
Yeah.
but they don't put in the work.
Ooh, tell me about that. When you said that, when I 10 years ago when I wanted to start the station, right away this sister told me, said, it's not gonna work. You don't know what you're doing. It's not gonna work. How do you know you don't know what I'm? You don't know my background in music and stuff. Told me it wasn't gonna work. I seen that same sister about a year ago. I said, how you doing? She said, I'm doing all right. I see your station doing okay. Yeah, it's doing great. I appreciate you giving me that vote of confidence 10 years ago, though. And that's why I told her. And I left that there. We talked a little bit, and she admitted she was wrong,
Mm-hmm.
because she went by most black businesses always have want to start something, but they never follow through.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she's seen. I said I did more than follow through. I think I'm doing okay for what I'm doing right
Mm-hmm.
now. What you just said, I know you heard about this couple. I call them the power couple. Those are the Brooks,
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Veronica and Glenn Brooks. What you
Mm-hmm.
just said about rising above and hanging around with the right people that's going to level you up. They
Mm-hmm.
say exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to hang around with people that will make you boost you up, looking at you,
Yeah.
help you out, and you hang around people like that. You get ideas. Like I learned so much since July 3rd on this new platform I have called Texas in Color, and
Mm-hmm.
where I interview all the candidates, minority candidates around Texas. I have learned so much listening to them on how the state is ran. You just be
Mm-hmm.
amazed on the things that they're doing that's trying to hold the blacks down. I learned
Mm-hmm.
so much listening to them. Man, I feel like I gained so much knowledge and we still got some more to go. But just hang around people like that and listening. And that's the key to things. You don't always have to sit down there and interject. Sometimes sit back. Remember those saying your parents tell you, you don't speak, you listen. Just sit back and
Mm-hmm.
listen. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what everybody need to do sometimes. Just listen. And you'd be surprised how much knowledge you can soak in by just sitting down listening.
Mm-hmm.
So
Especially if they're doing, I watch podcasts with millionaires and things like that, and taxes and all the rest of that stuff, and entrepreneurs. And I listen to the people. Okay, all right. I never thought about that. I never knew that.
mm-hmm.
I didn't understand it. Why do they do the things? You know, I know, probably sitting down listening to him, you was like, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's what I got to watch out for. That's what that means.
Mm-hmm. They be
So
breaking it
that's what's
down.
going on. That's why this is going the way it is going the way. Okay, all right. But you sat down and listened, and we have a society that don't want to do that because they know everything.
You hit it. You hit the nail right on the head. They don't want to listen. They don't want to know the truth. I go for that movie where you can't handle the truth.
But the truth, yep, a
Yep.
few good men.
Yeah, and that's it. The truth. What am I? Aunties always say the reason why they're mad at you because the truth hurts.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're mad at you, and
Mm-hmm.
it makes a lot of sense. And quit listening to one person. This is the problem. You said it. This is the problem right now. We're listening from this one person, what he's saying. Now I ask him, where did he get it from? I don't know, but this is what he said is true. Did you look it up yourself? What you mean? Use that thing that God put on your shoulders and do some
Mm-hmm.
research and find out what is the truth, what is not the truth. Because there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of false things out there on the internet. You got to filter through all that and find the truth,
Mm-hmm.
and which they don't want to do. That's too much work.
Do you remember the when the internet first came out? There was a this lady walks up to this gentleman. He's heavier set, and she goes, "Are you the model?" He goes, "Yes, I'm on the model." He did not look nothing like his picture. But then they made a comment: the internet always tells the truth.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't research. They don't even when laws come out, they don't research. What is this law going to do? How is it going to affect us? Somebody tells you something, they don't tell you the whole truth, but you never go in and look for yourself to see what the law actually says. And when you don't know what the
Mm.
law actually says, you'll listen to anybody and get yourself in trouble.
I'm glad you said that because there's one law out right now that has not made its ways around for small business owner. It's called the Corporate Transparency Act.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned corporate, you think it's the big businesses, IBM, Walmart, and all that. No, it's for small business. You must register with the Treasury Department.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, the reason why this came out because they feel the small business are the ones that's doing money laundering,
Mm-hmm.
trafficking. They're doing all
Mm-hmm.
that. So they want everybody to register by December 31st of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't, the fine could be up to $500 a day come January
Mm-hmm.
1st.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been
Compound
preaching,
interest daily.
yep. And I've been preaching that, and everybody, I didn't know that. I've been preaching it since February.
I send people videos.
Mm-hmm.
I send people text messages. I text my daughter-in-law, my other one. I send it to my wife. I'm doing it. I'm sending it to everybody, letting them know. You get that taken care of yet? I ain't even worry about it, man. I
Yeah.
don't make enough for them to come after me. I said, they don't care. It's the government.
The only way
They
you
don't
get out
care.
of it, only way
They
you
gonna get
get,
their money somehow. When you
yep,
can't get when they take your taxes,
yep.
you expecting that big amount of taxes, and they go, you didn't register, so we
Mm,
taking your money. Then you go try to flip tables.
exactly. Because if you make $5 million or more, you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
But under $5 million, and if you got multiple people in your business, you got to put down what percentage, and they got to register too.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been schooling everybody, and you know what? I'm gonna keep on preaching till December 31st. I said,
Mm-hmm.
y'all got to midnight to get this done. So don't jump up and say nobody told me. I've been telling you every day since February. So what more do you need? I even posted it where to go to. Less than 15 minutes, you're done, over with.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm doing my part. Like I said, you lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink it.
One of my uh, coworkers, her brother put on, and he does financial stuff, and he put on his Facebook page how black money's supposed to operate. These people, our own was sending him responding nasty to him. Why are you putting this on there? You shouldn't be putting this on there. What you try? He just tell them how it used to be and how it's supposed to flow,
Yeah.
and they get mad at him.
It don't stay in community one day, not even 1 hour sometimes. It's
Mm,
in and out.
we will go to. We will if Ron has a shop. I'm not if I'm gonna walk in and say, hey Ron, we boys, hey, can I get a discount? As soon as you say no, man, I just opened up. I'm just getting started. I can't give discounts. Oh, that's okay. I'm gonna go down the street
Are you
when they
not?
give me a discount. How much they give you? 10%. Ooh, my goodness. Do you actually know how too much 10% is?
Yeah.
So if you spend $100, you only get what, $10? But then you can't support. So this grows. So at one time when you do come in, I may decide, hey, let me give you a discount. I know some Caucasian people that when they go to their friends for business, they never ask them, can they get a discount?
Mm-mm.
Hey, Mike, yeah, I need my roof put in. Can you do that for me? Yeah, I got you.
Send me a
How
bill.
much is it gonna cost me?
Yep. Exactly.
Boom. Then they may come at the end. Hey, I just didn't charge you labor. You had to just pay for all the supplies. But
Yeah.
that was their option. They didn't go in looking for that. In our minority community, if I'm walking into your shop and I know you, Ron, my first thing is, what you gonna do for me?
That's so
Ron, hey,
true.
Ron, hey, can I get a discount on? I know you got this radio station, but can I get a discount? I know you're doing like a little radio promotion where people can put their businesses. Can you give me a discount?
Now,
No, I'm trying to survive.
thank you.
I got a wife to take care of. If you got kids, I got a kids. I got bills. I got all this stuff. And if I'm keep giving, and then you go step, and then you go say, oh yeah, go see Ron. He'll give you a discount. Now I got 15, 20 people coming to me talking about, and Ron got 15 people coming into the radio. Hey, I know you're gonna put some stuff on the radio, so radio spot. Can I get a discount?
I was telling that was last week. You missed it by a week, buddy. That's what I'll do. Oh man, you just as bad as Joseph. Oh, everybody know Joseph. Craig Washington's sitting in tonight for Joseph. He's recuperating. Um, Craig will be back next Wednesday too. So what I see just about bad as Joseph. We ran over the hour.
Hey, it's the evening. I can handle it in the evening. Usually, if it's in the morning time, I just schedule some time out of work. I gotta get back to work.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But we're gonna cut it right here. I appreciate you coming in, filling in for Joseph. And next time you talk to him, I'll tell you what I did to him one day. When both him and his buddy was in the hospital at the same time, I was going bowling and we was on the text message going back and forth. And I figured since I'm the oldest, I'm the alpha male. And I said, I've been telling him, this is what's going to happen. Joseph, you keep your butt in the hospital bed. Don't you swim over here. And Glenn, you better just stay there. I better not see you at karaoke. I'm putting my foot down. So good night to both of y'all. Then they going to sit there and tell me, you can't talk. I could talk to y'all any way I want because I'm the oldest out of both of y'all. So I just got on the case. It was fun. Nothing but love in it. You know that. We just have fun
Right.
and everything. So, but until next week, my brother, I appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you too.
All
Love
right.
what you're doing.
All right. You take care and we'll talk to you later.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. That was Craig Washington filling in for Joseph Lee. And we really do appreciate him coming on board and doing this for us. Man,
Recording stopped.
you just don't know. She just talked to me over there. How it start? My picture still showing. But anyway, let me